Welcome to Dr. Balaga's God Knowledge Doc podcast, your quick dive into the latest medical breakthroughs to keep you ahead of the curve. Let's get started. Today is 8th October 2025. This video is on a Nature Communications article published yesterday, 7th October 2025, titled Wearable Device-Based Health Equivalence of Different Physical Activity Intensities Against Mortality, Cardiometabolic Disease, and Cancer. Physical activity intensity is historically based on self-report, assuming a 1:2 ratio of vigorous physical activity to moderate physical activity. That is, equate 1 minute of vigorous physical activity to 2 minutes of moderate physical activity. This study used accelerometer data from 73,485 UK Biobank participants, mean age 61.6 years, 56.4% were women, to determine empirical equivalence across intensity levels. Methods: 7-day wrist-worn accelerometry, minimum 3 valid days, greater than 16 hours per day, and more than 1 weekend day. Follow-up, mean 8 years. Machine learning classified intensity to light physical activity, moderate physical activity, and vigorous physical activity. Health outcomes included 6 of them: all-cause mortality, cardiovascular disease mortality, major adverse cardiovascular events, type 2 diabetes, physical activity related cancer mortality, and cancer incidence. Models used Cox fine grained competing risk models, adjusted for confounders, and reverse causality excluded by omitting early events. What did they find? They found that the median minutes of moderate physical activity equivalent to 1 minute of vigorous physical activity was about 4 to 9 minutes. For all-cause mortality, it was 4.1 minutes. For cardiovascular disease mortality, 7.8 minutes. For major cardiovascular events, 5.4 minutes. And for type 2 diabetes, 9.4 minutes. For cancer mortality, 3.5 minutes. And cancer incidence, 1.6 minutes. 1 minute of vigorous physical activity was equivalent to 53 to 156 minutes of low physical activity. All-cause mortality, 1 minute of physical activity, vigorous physical activity is equivalent to 53 minutes of low physical activity. For cardiovascular disease, 72.5 minutes. For major cardiovascular events, 86.1 minutes. For type 2 diabetes, 94 minutes. For cancer mortality, 156 minutes. And for cancer incidence, 5.1 minutes. The limitations of the study: observational design, potential residual confounding, low response rates, 5.5%, absolute not adjusted to METs. Key takeaway: vigorous physical activity is 2 to 4 times more efficient than prior guidelines suggest. Low physical activity shows weak associations for most outcomes, highlights the critical need to update guidelines and wearable algorithms based on device-derived data, enables precision health strategies and intensity personalized exercise prescriptions. This is an infographic of these findings. So what are the clinical pearls from this study? 1 minute of vigorous physical activity provides up to 9 minutes of moderate physical activity equivalent health benefits for major outcomes like type 2 diabetes and major cardiovascular events. Light physical activity offers limited risk reduction. Example: 1 minute of vigorous physical activity is equal to 156 minutes of light physical activity for cancer mortality. Vigorous intermittent lifestyle physical activity, example fast walking bursts or scout pace, may be optimal for time-constrained individuals. For example, HIIT training. Wearable-based physical activity assessment enables personalized, intensity-stratified interventions in primary and preventive care. Eponyms in physical activity science. The Borg scale after Gunnar Borg. It's clinically used. The perceived exertional scale of 6 to 20 for perceived exertion. The Astrand rhyming test is a sub-maximal bicycle test to estimate VO2 max. The Karvonen formula after Marty Karvonen is clinically used, target heart rate calculation. Bruce protocol after Robert A. Bruce. It's a standard treadmill stress test. The Cooper test after Kenneth Cooper, mostly historical, 12-minute run for aerobic fitness. The Harvard step test, again mostly historical, early test of cardiovascular recovery. The Fick principle after Adolf Fick, clinically foundational. VO2 is equivalent to cardiac output into oxygen extraction. The Rockport walk test, used mainly in field use, 1 mile walk test for VO2 max, less common today. Sallis ecological model after James Sallis, still used as a public health interventional model. The Balke wear test, used in specific population. It's a gentler alternative to Bruce protocol. If you enjoyed this episode, share it with your colleagues. When we change how we see disease, we change how we shape lives. Until next time, stay curious, stay compassionate, and keep seeking wisdom. Podcast brought to you by Master MedFacts at mastermedfacts.com.